So, you are driving a car to the roof rack, and at speed you start to hear a noise. No, not like that. And this one. Or like that. At the same time there is no outbox, bicycle carrier, or any other load on the roof. That is, the roof rack is noisy by itself. In this video we will look at 7 reasons for the noise, hum, or whistle from the roof rack, and in each case we will present solutions to the problem. Reason number 1 is the crossbar profile. If the crossbars of your roof rack are rectangular in profile, then you most likely cannot avoid noise at speed. Let's consider the nature of this noise in a little more detail. At speed, the airflow meets the frontal part of the crossbar and bypasses it from above and below. And beyond the crossbar, the flows break down, forming a common vortex slit. The main thing in this process is that the main noise occurs beyond the crossbar and not at all in front. There the crossbar collides with the airflows. In the case of the more streamlined aerobar, the flow will break off at higher speeds, while the vortex pattern is more modest, which means there is less noise. The rear bar or the wing bar is elongated, so the flow smoothly close behind it, practically without forming vortexes. The final table looks something like this. The first line shows the average speed at which the noise appears. The second line shows the noise relative to the square crossbars. And in the third line, the nature of the noise. If the sound from the square bars can be called hum, then the air and the wind bars are close to the rustle. What solution can be offered to reduce noise in this case? The first and the obvious thing is to change square bars to air bars or wind bars. Solution number 2. Install a fairing or otherwise wheel deflector that will divert airflows from the roof rack. You can see the third solution on this picture. Wrap the elastic cord in a tight spiral around the crossbar, securing it to the ends of the crossbar. This spiral will disperse the airflows, preventing vortexes. If this method seems a little unexpected to you, just pay attention to the car antennas. Many of them also have a spiral line with the same purpose, noise reduction at speed. And solution number 4, the simplest, is to remove the roof rack than it not to use. Cause of noise number 2, incorrect wind bars installation. Take a close look at this photo. If your face isn't like that, then you obviously didn't notice at least 2 mistakes in the installation of the roof rack. We will talk now about the first one, but about the second mistake, who noticed, write in the comments. So, of course, the wind bars are installed incorrectly here, namely the sharp and forward. Remember how an airplane wings look like, and everything will become clear to you. The sharp part is needed not to cut the air, as someone think, but to close smoothly the rear airflows. Therefore, check how your crossbar are standing and, if necessary, rearrange it in the correct position. The following 3 causes of noise are not related to the profile of the crossbar, but are associated with open slots and cavities in the crossbars and rack tower. At speed, such slots create a whistle effect. If your roof rack starts to whistle like a neighbor's guy, then most likely there is your case, and we recommend inspecting the structure. For example, are all the bottom slots covered? Many roof racks has a structural cutout at the bottom of the crossbar for fixing the tower. The slot can be either to a certain depth of the crossbar or along its entire length. But in any case, all open sections of the crossbar must be closed with special seals, which are always included in the roof rack kit. There is also a rubber seal on the top of the crossbar. It is usually not forgotten about it, since it's in a plain sign. However, it have been removed if you need to install, for example, a ski carrier. The remaining slot will begin to whistle with pleasure even at low speed. Therefore, we close all 3 areas on the crossbar, thus getting rid of the whistle. The whistle effect can also be caused by the absence of individual parts of the roof rack system, for example, such as an end cap, front tower covers, rear covers, and so on. Accordingly, to eliminate this fact, inspect the roof rack and, if necessary, supplement it with spare parts and parts. Now a little test. Look at the 2 roof racks and tell me which one will be quieter and which one will be noisier. You don't need to be an engineer to understand. The upper option is the best one. The lower has longer crossbars, which means more space for vortexes. Also, it's higher, and protruding crossbars are an additional source of turbulence and noise. Therefore, keep in mind, the more crossbars stick out, the more their noise is. The flush roof rack without overhand crossbars has the minimum noise. If you have an ideal roof rack, wing-shaped, doesn't stick out, all the parts are in place, and it's such a nice control, it still makes noise at speed, then this may be due to its location on the roof, especially a front crossbar. It may find itself on the trajectory of a powerful airflow coming out the windshield. How to deflect the crossbar from an airstrike? It's usually impossible to move it up and down, but you can often move it forward or backward. Try it! Moving forward can help, but more often, moving backward helps. Of course, if the car has roof rack fixation points, such a produce is impossible, but for many cars with roof rails or rain gutters, there is a very effective and simple solution.